So we are going to head into this antique store and see what we can find for vintage Christmas or anything that I can purchase to gift for people. So, or maybe even some things to resell. We'll see what we can do. Hey nesters, welcome back to the channel, Nesting Haven. Today I went out and about on Small Business Saturday. I wanted to go and support local businesses in Maine, and I thought going to antique malls and smaller thrift stores would be the thing to do, so I definitely want to get out there and do my part in supporting small businesses. It's something I believe in. So I'm going to take you along with me as I did some antiquing, I guess, at this antique mall. There was quite a bit to look at here, so it could be quite long, or I might make this a two-part video. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do some shopping and see what they had today. One of the things I noticed up front when I walked in was this area that said everything was $1 a piece. And so, of course, I'm going to glance there. That's a good deal. It's always good to find a bargain, right? I really liked that little vintage ornament there. They had a lot of those Russ and Berry type of statues that kind of make me laugh. And, you know, for $1 a piece, that wasn't too bad of a price. And there were some older books and stuff down here. I like this, but you can see it was missing the salt and pepper shaker and the creamer. I guess I had the creamer, so probably the sugar dish. So even for $1, I guess it probably wasn't too bad to pick up for that. Someone might have wanted it. They did have this really adorable Santa and Mrs. Claus set here. It was, I'm not sure what it was made of. It was kind of almost like a toilet paper roll. It was hard, but it was like kind of like a roll or something. I don't know, they were kind of cute, I guess. I do really think the glass vintage ornaments are quite pretty. They had this basket filled up with some for $25 for the basket filled. That was kind of a cute idea to do. I'm not sure that those ones all looked too old to me. There was some in there that looked kind of vintage, but some looked a little bit on the newer side. I really thought this little display of horses was quite nice, and the cool thing about going on Small Business Saturday here, there was a lot of discounts. Most booths were 20 to 50% off, so definitely like that. Of course, one of the most difficult things about shopping at antique malls are not having shopping carts. And there were some great sales today. They did have some of the hand baskets up front I found later on, so that was helpful. My hands were quite full, and I did end up picking up 2 shopping baskets filled with stuff, so you guys can definitely stay tuned for that and see what I ended up picking up. There were so many great things to look at. There wasn't quite as much Christmas as I was hoping for, but definitely still lots of cool finds. I really liked the tree here. It was a little bit unique with the characters on it. Not too bad of a price either. I think it was about $25 or $29 there. And this section here had the majority of the furniture that they had in the store. I'm really into the mid-century modern type style, and this was more antique furniture, and though it's very pretty, it's not really what I like to use in my own home, but we do have quite a bit of that here in my state, and there are a lot of people that like to purchase those antique pieces, so it's always really neat to see them. I'm such a sucker for vintage children's books. This one is from 1972, and the images were great on it. I wanted to show you guys this. They had these adorable black and white cats on this chair. They were this heavy cast iron type material and were very flat on the bottom, so I'm assuming they were probably door stoppers, but I thought that was cute that they just had them set in the chair. I have to admit, I am a fan of the white Christmas tree with these vintage glass ornaments on it. I thought it was really stunning to look at. They had the ornaments priced at $3 a piece on this tree, which is pretty reasonable, and they definitely had plenty to choose from, so lots of good ones there. One thing you'll never see me buy at an antique mall is one of those creepy antique dolls, and you can see the leg is peeling off a little bit and stuff. I know people like to use them in Halloween decor, but I'm not into creepy things like that. And I guess there is a market for it. It does look cool, I'll admit, in the store itself, but I can't imagine bringing that into my home. And so let's head over to the next booth. Now, at this antique mall, there seemed to be a pretty even mixture between what I would call a female vendor and a male vendor. You can just kind of tell by the items that are in the booths, right? And so there was a good selection of that, and there was also booths that kind of had mix and match, which probably had a wife and husband working together. I saw these wooden salt and pepper shakers up on the top shelf, and it reminded me of my friend Misty, and she likes to collect them. I kind of checked them out a little bit, but they're priced a little high, I think at $5 a piece. I think she probably gets a better deal than that when she picks them up, so I don't know. She probably has a ton. She always says she does. I love it when a booth has a good selection, a good variety of items, and they display them so nicely. I like to check them all out. I was in this store for quite some time, but I probably still could have spent quite a bit more time in there looking through everything a bit more thoroughly. This next item piqued my interest because I had tried to watch Mad Men a few times, and I've only ever gotten through almost the first episode. It's a little dry for me. You guys will have to let me know below if you guys have ever watched Mad Men all the way through, if it's worth, carrying on with it. But anyways, that was a Lucky Strike cigarette box, and I believe in that first episode he is advertising and thinking about that Lucky Strikes cigarettes, and the advertisement he came up with, it was "It's Toasted," so it kind of made me smile. I'm like, hey, I know what that's from, or I guess it's not really from Mad Men, but that's what it reminded me of. This is probably the most unique manger set, nativity set, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever seen. It's almost like little mini egg cups. Obviously that would be quite a tiny egg to put in there, but I don't really know what's going on with it, but it was super cute. And we have some lusterware here. That was kind of a nice little set. And this little vase here with the rooster was quite pretty. It has the little chicks on the bottom of it as well. This next set I found was really cool. I've never seen it before. I really like the style to it. They said it's a vintage and narco orange spice dishes from 1960s, and they had the 9-piece set only priced for $24.95, which is obviously a steal, and then they had 20% off as well, so that was a good little deal there for somebody to pick up for sure. I have seen some pieces of that sell online, the salt and pepper shakers and the, what are they called? Containers for the kitchen. What are they called? Brain work. Canisters? Canisters. Let's go with canisters for the win. I really liked this spice jar here. I like that it had these nice ceramic boxes to it, and just in this own little convenient organized cubby. That was really cute. How adorable is this guy here though? I think it's chalkware. Was it chalkware? Yeah, it's chalkware. And I love the colors to it. I love that it's a little notepad, and he has glasses. The owl has glasses. How adorable is that? They were asking $8.95 for him. They had a good amount of Avon Ruby glassware. I actually saw quite a bit of this throughout the store today, so it was plentiful in this particular store. So I don't know if it's popular here or if it's just not selling. It's one or the other, right? They had this really cool lion planter. I thought he was a pretty neat find. I can't remember the price of them, but I think I put him back down because he probably was just a little bit too much more than I wanted to pay. I absolutely love these Griffiths milk glass spice jars back here, and the labels are on them pretty nicely. They're pretty intact still. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love that they are fully labeled still and seem to be in really good shape. They also had this gorgeous sugar shaker here. They had it priced $9.95, and it's a good size. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it was probably fairly priced. I would have definitely picked that up for myself had I needed it. This next booth had a lot of jewelry, and I'm the type of person that I'm kind of a deer in headlights when I see jewelry or clothing. I'm definitely more of a hard goods kind of person that I can just look at that stuff very easily and don't get overwhelmed, but anything like jewelry and clothing, I feel like you really have to sift through, and it takes a lot longer, so I tend to just kind of glance super quick, and if something happens to catch my eye, I will go ahead and pick it up and check it out, but Normally, I just kind of skip over it. I liked some stuff I saw inside of this cabinet, so I did check that out in a little bit. You'll see what I was most interested in. But they had a lot of interesting knickknacks on the top. I believe most of them are salt and pepper shakers. They're always fun to look at. I don't feel like I would ever use them for salt and pepper, but they're definitely cute knickknacks. And I mean, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with using them for salt and pepper shakers, but I just feel like most people use them for decor. Again, this booth had a beautiful selection as well. Everything was designed very nicely on the shelves. I really like this little salt and pepper shaker set and the wagon on the bottom. I can't remember the price. I didn't grab it there, but it was so cute. And then this one also had some guy stuff in it. So this is one of those mixed booths that I was talking about where they did have a little bit of this and that, which is always fun. It's nice when you can go on a nice little date with your husband and you all get to kind of have things to look at. Lots and lots of figurines to look at. I like to pick up figurines, so those are always fun to see all the different ones that are out there. And I must say, whoever's booth this was, they had a ton of stuff in their booth, but everything was set up very nicely that it didn't seem cluttery to me, so it was really well done. That's a talent to have, because it often, when you have a lot of stuff, it's difficult to be able to cram it in there and still have everything be shoppable. So that is a good job on their part. I like this little planter here. It's a vintage planter with a donkey and a clown. They only had $2 on it. It was such a great deal. After I saw the price of that planter, I saw the Joseph Original Month Girls up here on the top shelf, and I was hoping I could get a good deal on those as well. They were marked $12.50 a piece, and that is about what they're going to go for, about 10 to 12 plus shipping. So not a lot of room to make money on. Had I wanted these for myself, I definitely would have picked them up at that price because I would have saved myself some shipping, right? But absolutely beautiful, and those are really fun to see. Very gorgeous. Let me know below which angel you would have picked up, what month. I would have picked up December for my birthday, and I don't have a sister or daughter or anything, so I feel just the men in my life, I wouldn't have picked that up, obviously, because they are female dolls, so I think I would have just went ahead and got the December one. So I opened up the cabinet that I told you guys I wanted to, and what I had wanted to look at was these whales here. You can see they're a redware, and I was hoping to find a Blue Mountain Pottery logo on the bottom, either their tree or BMP, but I didn't see anything. They are still likely a Canadian pottery, but I ultimately put them back. I don't think they were priced at a price point where I could have resold them for too much either, so I really like this box. I thought it was nicely hand painted, and I'm really into those old kind of recipe boxes like that. This was a neat piece. It's a lamp and a planter in one. Very nice for a camp or just very mid-century, honestly. You could use it in your home. So they were asking $74 for it, and they say it is from the 1950s, so very cute. I personally collect the England biscuit tins myself. This is a made in Brazil one, $5. It is vintage, it is cute. I really liked it. It's florals and everything. I actually sold one of these recently, so they will sell for sure, and definitely a good price on that. I spied a few more Christmas things, really tiny here. This was marked $2 for this little ornament, very cute. And yeah, they had a decent selection. This was fun to look at for sure. I like when I find the old Christmas balls in the original box because the boxes themselves people like to decorate with. I like to decorate with. I found this really beautiful planter here. It is vintage and it is a Mary planter. Sometimes they are Madonna, and I never know the difference between Mary and Madonna when it comes to those. I don't really know why, but it was a pretty good price. And then there was this little mushroom here that I thought was kind of cute, this little like mushroom fairy house. So we are in the next booth now, and another great sale to be had. This had a wonderful mix in it as well. Lots of good fun things to look through. I found something that I figured would be a little bit more expensive, but when I picked it up, it was only $3. I couldn't believe it. Wouldn't you guys expect that to be more than $3, this vintage nursery planter? But sure enough, look. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Come back tomorrow for part 2 of this antique along with me and see what I picked up. Be sure you are subscribed to catch the haul at a later date. coming up later on this week. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.